Unit 5, Part B, Lesson 2, Transversals. Today we're going to be learning about parallel lines and when they are cut by a line called a transversal, the special angles that are formed. Let's first begin talking about vertical angles. Right? This is the top of your notes, and you're filling in the blanks with me, and you're adding extra information. So vertical angles are formed by two intersecting lines. All right, so let's also add some extra information about vertical angles. All right, so first we want to add that vertical angles are congruent. And we just want to remind each other that that means they're equal. Congruent means that they're equal. All right, another way to remember vertical angles is that they are across from each other. Across from one another. All right, so an example on here on your paper, okay, is this angle 1 would be across from angle 3. All right, so these two lines right here, we have a line here, and then we have a line going this way, and they've intersected right here and creating 4 angles. So angle 1 and angle 3 are vertical angles. So let's list those. Angle 1 and angle 3. And for this lesson specifically, if you have colored pencils, or if you have colored pens or highlighters or markers, it'd be really good to use those for this unit or for this lesson, because we're going to be doing a lot of labeling and identifying matching pairs. And so it just helps if you color code them. All right, and then another set of vertical angles would be 2 and 4. So I'm going to color those purple. All right, so angle 2 and angle 4 are vertical. All right, and then we also know that they're congruent. So if we know angle 1 is a measure of, let's say, 80 degrees, then angle 3 would also have to be 80 degrees. And if angle 2 is 100, then angle 4 would also have to be 100, okay? So they're across from each other, and they have the same measures. All right, if you're doing this without color coding, one suggestion I can make is that you would give the angle 1 one arch and angle 3 one arch to show that those go together, and angle 2 would get 2 arches, and angle 4 would get 2 arches to show that these two go together and that these go together. So 1 arc with 1 arc, and then 2 arcs with 2 arcs. So that's another way to label your paper if you don't do color coding. All right, this example here, we can already see that 40 degrees is across from this 40 degrees, and then 140 is across from this 140. All right, so these are vertical and these are vertical. All right, let's move on to the next example. So these are the types of problems you'll see. So first, identify the relationship. So the vertexes touch. Okay, they're across from each other. So these are vertical. And since we know this angle is 66 degrees, that means x also equals 66 degrees. And then example 2, they like to throw in these extra pictures. Like they have this triangle up here, and then they have a triangle down here as well. And that's just kind of to throw you off. But really, we're just focusing on this angle that's formed here that they tell us is 30 degrees, and this angle here, which is B. So we want to find the missing variable. So since this one is over here and this one's across from it, these are vertical angles. And we know that vertical angles are congruent. So since this one equals 30 degrees, B must also equal 30 degrees.